Hello, good morning, students. I hope you are doing well. Hello, dear students. Good morning. So, I'm extremely sorry for that. I did not take your classes in the previous week and your month, right? Because due to some problem, I did not able to take your class. But anyway, we have completed up to seventh chapter, and now we are going to start this chapter number 8, wind, storm, and cyclone. So, I'm welcome to all and we will try to complete all the chapters right before going to your school, and for that you all have to make your proper notes and you have to revise all these things day by day, so that it will be good for you to understand all the points and to relate your daily life, right, and real life your examples, and I will try to teach likewise. So let's begin. So yeah, first one thing, that is the development of the lesson, right, introduction. So for what are the first, actually the chapter name is that wind, storm, and cyclone. So first question arise from this chapter, that is the what are the wind, what are the storm and cyclone, right? So as you all know that what are the wind? Wind means flowing air, right? If you're in place, right, air is going to flow, right? Means if here is some air, right, and this air is moving in this direction, right? So which means this flowing air is called your wind, right? As you all know that around us, everybody, or around the your earth, we all having your air, right? And if your air is moving in any direction, right, either in the left or right or up direction, in the bottom direction, any kind of the direction, if your air is going to flow or move, so that means we will say this your flowing air is called your wind, right? What is your storm? Storm means sometime you have seen some air is moving very fastly, right, very fast, and by this flowing air, this can damage lots of the public properties, right, and it can also damage some environmentals properties, right, like your it can damage your plants, right, it can break down, it can damage to the houses of the peoples, it can damage to the your farmers field, right? So many things if damaged by the very heavy or very fast speed of your wind, so that can be your understand, or that can be called as your storm. And what is your cyclone? Cyclone, which means this storm, if is this storm is arising in the your under sea level or in the oceans, right? So this can be called as a your cyclone, right? So by this cyclone, your water is going to uplift in the up to 15 meter, right? And we will see here some story about the your Odisha, right? How this in the 2002 this cyclone damaged lots of the properties, right? So and some of the peoples were also affected by this cyclone. So we will see here in this chapter. So this is the little information about this chapter. Okay, so next we have here first point. What is this? Just a second. That is the development of the lesion, right? So here air means as you all know that air is the mixture of gases, right? You know what is air? Air means air is the mixture of gases that make up the earth atmosphere, right? Means your air earth atmosphere is made up of your different gases, right? Which means the mixture of gases. That mixture of gases are your earth, which are made up of your atmosphere, right? Means if in our gas one gases is present, right? So that can't be make your atmosphere, but your atmosphere is made up of your different kind of the mixture of your gases, right? Like hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and sulfur. Various gases are present, helium, right? What is wind? As I have already explained here, the moving air is called your wind, right? If we have any air and this air is moving in any direction, so that moving air is called your wind, or that is your right, that is nothing but only your wind, right? Since air is mixture of gases and wind is the flow of gases on large scale, right? As you all know that mixture of gases of your air, right? And wind is flow of gases, means this mixture of gases is flowing in any direction in large scale, right? In very fastly. So wind are caused by heating difference, right? If you seen this experiment in the classes, I have already shown. If you have any candle, right? And you can if you are burned this candle, so you have seen that this all the airs are coming from this direction, and by getting heated right around the surface of this candle where this flame is going to burn, and by this these airs are going to heated, and this air is moving in the up direction, right? Upward direction. So this upward direction, these moving gases are very hot, right? So that is why here written that is the this wind is caused by the heating difference, which means if you heat the wind, so your moving of your wind speed can be increased, right? And it is also differentiate, or it is also caused by the pressure, right? Low pressure and higher pressure, right? So we'll talk later. Wind can be classified on the basis of duration, long and short, right? So wind can be classified as a long wind or short wind, right? Long duration and strength, high, medium and low, and speed, slow and fast, right? So wind can be classified in these three categories, like duration, short duration, long duration means wind can be run, or wind can be flow very long and very short, and strength means wind can be high power, or which means say high strength, medium strength, low strength, and speed, slow speed and fast speed. So these are the some classification of the wind on the basis of these three categories, right? Duration, strength and speed. Next we have here that is the high strength. What is your high strength? High strength means you can see here high strength wind are longer duration, right? High, if we have higher strength of wind, which means it will run, or it will continuously move for longer time, right? Or longer duration, like cyclone and hurricane, right? So like cyclone and hurricane may cause hazardous effect, means these your high strength of your wind speed can be damaged lots of the public properties, and it can be your hazardous effect, which means these wind speed are very harmful for the public. Not only for public, it can also damage to the environmental properties, right? So here you can see here, these are your high strength wind, right? So these high strength wind are very powerful wind speed, which can damage or which is very hazardous in nature, right? And which can damage lots of the properties. And applications of wind include windmills, right, to generate electricity, fan, flying kite, hair dryer, etc., right? So here you can see these are the some applications including windmills. If you have seen these windmills, and by using these windmills, peoples are generating electricity, right? So this is also a good application or advantage for us. And flying kite, right, hair dryer, right? Sometimes we are just if we have very wet hair, so we are using this hair dryer, right, so that our hair can be dry very fastly, right? And so these are the some applications. And next here we will talk about the that is your 1 minute, that is the air exert pressure, right? How this air exert pressure, this is very important to understand the continuous physical forces exert on an object, right? If we have any force, right, continuously on any object, so that object can be resist, or that object can repel our forces, right, by something in contact with it. So it is called pressure, which means if we have any object, right, like this, and if we are applying some forces by from this direction, so this force, right, this force is applying from this direction, so this uh, object can be moved in this direction. So which means this object, while moving this direction, this object can be applying reverse force, right? This object can applying reverse force. So here is a some pressure, right, which we are applying some pressure, which means in this vacant area there is a some gases are present, so which can be replaced by this object. So these gases are applying some pressure over this object, so that this object can't be easily coming to this particular place, right? So these are the some pressure, right? So air exert pressure in different way under different situations. So means your air is not only applying some suppose from in this direction, if we have any air, so these air are also applying pressure in this direction, right? Why? Because the force and air pressure which are applying in this direction in the same way, right? But from this side, this air is applying forces in the opposite direction. So pressure can be different way, right? Pressure can be different ways under different situations. Okay, so here for example, air enclosed in a container like a balloon or bicycle tube takes exert pressure, right? If you have seen your bicycle tire tube, right, so under this air is exert pressure from inside the your cycle tube, right? And air in the atmosphere around up exert pressure as, right? So air which is present around us in the atmosphere, which is also exert pressure, right? Suppose that if you have any bottle, and uh, if you have any small hole in the bottom side of your bottle, and if you what if you uh, give some mouth force, right, or you can say if you exert some pressure, right, or air in the bottle from this mouth of this bottle, so definitely the pressure can be increased under this bottle. If you have a small pore, right, in this bottle in the bottom side, so this air can be getting out from this pore. But if you don't have any small pore in this bottle, so definitely this bottle can be burst, right? Why? Because the pressure can be exerted over the all over the bottle bodies, right, all over the surface of the bodies, right? So similarly, if you close the mouth of this your bottle, and if you apply some external pressure from over the surface of your bottle, so definitely it can't be uh, compress, right? It can't be compress of your bottle. Why? Because under the bottle and or inside the bottle there is some gases which exert pressure over the surface of your bottle, right, from the inner side. So these are the some examples. And moving air called wind exert pressure, right? So this is very very important to understand this moving air. If your air is moving, so it also exert pressure, right? Okay. And the air around us exert pressure. This is seen in the following activity. So here you can see, here is the some activity which is given in the bottom side. You can see here. And just a second, right? So here is the one activity is given here, right? You can see this is the your stand, right? And under this stand here is a some burner, right? And by which we are applying heat to this bottle. And here what this pot is contained water, right? And this water getting heated, right? And if you pour some cold water, right, if you pour some cold water, so this bottle is getting uh, compressed, or the structure of the bottle body can be changed. Why? Because this is the due to the difference in the pressure, right? Means when you apply heat, so the pressure is going to exert it, but when you pouring cold water, so then this bottle's body, right, which is heated, so it is getting become cold. So at the same time, it's the temperature is very fastly changes. That is why its shape is going to distorted, right? So here you can see a thin can is filled with water heated over a flame. As soon as water comes to a boil, the lid is put and it is kept under running cold water. We find that shape of the cane gets distorted, right? So body or the cane can be distorted. Why? Because the heated bodies have high pressure, and when you provide cold water, so the heated body is coming into the its very less temperature or its original temperature. So its energy, or that is you can say that is the kinetic energy is getting reduced. So that is why its bottle's body shape or its cane shape is getting distorted, right? So in the next class we will continue this chapter, right? So till then you can just try to make your proper notes and try to understand what is actually uh, giving this chapter, right? And in this class we have seen few points of this your chapter, like your that is the your high strength, right? Air, wind, and types of the classification of your air, right? And here we have seen high strength applications and air exert pressure. Next, in the next class we will talk about the high speed wind. What are the high speed wind, and how and what are the applications of this high speed wind? And air expand on heating, right? How air is getting expanded on heating, right? So we will talk all these points. So try to understand all these points. If you have any doubt or any question, so you can just drop in the chat box or in the comment, and you can also send text in the WhatsApp. And try to send these videos to your friends and your family members. And subscribe to my channel and like, share, right? So okay, have a nice day, and onwards tomorrow we will try to complete all this chapter, right? And actually today I'll exhaust my all the data because I was try to making online, so hence I have just fully exhausted, so I don't have much data. That is why I'm not able to take your class right now. So anyway, sorry for that. Okay then, bye bye. See you.